starting out with the four-way, so it'll be VFS, so it'll be round 9. And we have the VFS to begin with, the FS female, and then the open. Then we'll be moving on to round 3 of the junior freestyle. And then I believe we are coming back then to the final for round 10 of the VFS female and FS open.
Good stuff. So it is a full day of action with all the final bits of the competition for today. It feels like it's just all rushing ahead now. Pete, we've got a lot of detail about yesterday's action. Go ahead.
Yes, some interesting stuff. Let's start with VFS, being as VFS is first up this morning with the final 2 rounds. So the big thing yesterday was Esercito went into yesterday morning in the lead. That's not how they finished up, Ray.
No.
I mean, we saw Esercito taking over on the bust league. They got 4 busts in total. They're still not flying as fast as full speed. You know, we can see that from the outside. They're crisp, they're clean, they're really nice to watch, but they just don't have the speed. And so there's an 8-point deficit now between Esercito and full speed.
Yeah, I think definitely full speed took day 1. They must have had a reset of some description, and they came back thinking, yeah, we can't let this happen. I caught up with Mika, who's coaching Esercito in Milan, and he said, yeah, you know, we had to up our game because at the end of the day I'm coaching these guys.
Yeah, just so you're very clear with what Ray just said there, one of the team members from Full Speed is coaching Esercito.
That's right, yes, Mika Mello. And they all fly in Milan. Esercito train in aerogravity in Milan. And Mika is based out there, so he does coach them.
Yeah, so further down on the VFS, we have the Windoor team. They got a couple of busts yesterday, but they just consolidate in their position on the podium, Ray. I mean, you know, there's no one going to catch them from below. There's a big gap. They're certainly not going to catch Esercito and Full Speed, but it's great to watch them fly, really crisp flyers, and watching them learning the pool.
That's right. And then, interestingly, in 4th and 5th place, which is great, yes, we have Icaro, a VFS team, another VFS team from Italy, fighting it out with Singularity, the team of friends from Dubai, from Skyline Dubai. There's only 1 point in it in 4th and 5th place.
That's going to make that exciting, because if we look at the competition rounds today, that round 9, the semi-finals that's coming up first, is a fast round for the VFS. I mean, we're looking at 17E11. We've got very small blocks. We've got a real nice random. They've got a little orientation shift. But if any of the rounds are going to make a difference, right, I think it's going to be this one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be round 9. And that's coming up now. And I think the teams, we visited them, saw them on our way up this morning, saying that they've only got 1 point in it. And they look pumped up and ready to go for that competition.
What's the split between 3rd and 4th? Is that doable?
Yeah, so no, it's not. Definitely not. So Windoor are pretty solid on the podium in 3rd place. And then the battle is 4th and 5th between Icaro Speed and Singularity. There's 1 point in that. And then you've got Alpha Project, real consistent. They're flying above their average if you look at what they've done in the past. But it doesn't look like the position's going to change down the bottom end as well.
And in the FS, guys?
Oh, yeah. So FS, let's talk about FS female first, just keep things in order. So Vosvind had a bit of a gnarly round on round 7, Ray, but they had a real good reset for round 8. They got 3 busts and a major breakdown. NFTO and Neftis Wimby, not as confident from NFTO yesterday. They went into day 1, supreme confidence, really nice to watch. Day 2, a little bit sketchy, but still, it's safe. I mean, they're safe ahead right now.
I mean, what we saw yesterday was some difference in engineering, and I think that's the influence maybe that bringing a new team member in like Pam into Niftis Wimby. She's gone a little bit more, they've gone a little bit more confident with the engineering that she might have chosen for the team, and that kind of played out for them quite well. I think they pipped NFTO on 2 rounds by a point with slightly different engineering that worked for them. And you're right, NFTO took quite a few things standard, I think, yesterday as well, and they're just learning as they're forming to a certain extent with a new team member as well.
But that 12-point lead for NFTO going into the final day, that's tough. I mean, looking at the rounds coming up, 17E11 opposite to the VFS is a pretty slow, steady working skydive. MV3L, which we have as the final, that's where things get exciting.
It's going to be super exciting.
Although I don't think the positions are going to change between first and second, Regan, in the female.
In the third and second, any chance of the bronze moving up to silver?
There's a 35-point gap. That's not going to happen, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So should we move into the FS Open?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, Hayabusa, they took it on the chin day one. They woke up day two and said, no, this is not how we fly. We're world champions. And they were solid, fast, confident. They picked up an 8-point lead on Arizona airspeed.
Yeah.
Really nice to see. They just looked a more solid, confident in their positions yesterday.
Yeah, and I think to me those top 3 spots look pretty set.
Yep.
We got Hayabusa on 267, airspeed on 259, and rhythm on 249. With the rounds coming up, yes, a lot of things can happen, but I think those places are pretty set, Pete.
Yeah, I don't think those top 3 places, as you say, I mean, with an 18-point deficit also between third and fourth. You know, it's going to be tough for Moscow. Moscow, really good to see them yesterday, Ray. Day one, they looked smooth, but they were busting. Day two, they looked smooth, less bust. Still 2 for the Moscow team yesterday, but different looking team. And they have a 4-point advantage on Wimby Unicorns.
Yeah, Wimby Unicorns didn't have as good a day,
Correct.
too.
Yep.
And I think IFS Moscow had a better day, and it shows in the score. So 4th and 5th place, it is close, as you say, Pete. And I believe the last 2 rounds, there's all to play for in the placings there as well.
Yeah, this is where things start to get exciting. We've got Unicorns have a 4-point lead on ISR Fireflash.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let you know, Unicorns were a team that kind of looked a little out of control in the past. This year, no bust. Let's see if you can go rounds 9 and 10 with that.
Thank you very much, guys. Great analysis. Very good morning to everybody who's joined us very early here in Spain, 8:25, wherever you are in the world. If you're watching on Facebook Live, do us a favour, will you? Share it out onto your timeline as well. Let's get everybody watching. It's Into the VFS with the analysis and the commentary from Ray Ahmed and Pete Allen.
Okay, so we got Windoor, a local team, firing tunnel up first thing this morning, warming us up with 17E11. We did say this is the faster round, Ray. We've got an orientation shift on the first block, but then we're back to head down for the E and the 11. The 11 is one of the fastest blocks here. So there's, there we go. So we're watching Windoor. That's block 11, very quick as you can see. 17, slightly slower with the orientation shift. Otherwise, the dive is a pretty quick one. And as we can see, these guys are working through it pretty smoothly.
Yeah, you can see that they're obviously a less experienced team. They're struggling a little bit with block 17 because that has got that orientation
shift, yeah.
But I think handily enough, you've got a random with the wave that comes in that's all head down, so it'll be easy for them, relatively easy for them to build. And then of course you've got that quick block, fun buddies.
Yeah, something that I think we'll see from this team if they stay together a little bit longer is how much tighter they can get. I mean, looking at the difference between the top 2 teams and Windoor, flying is good from Team Windoor, but they're just not as tight as the top 2.
Exactly. So this is, we should be looking at some live judging, I believe, that's coming up now, or what we'd like to call that.
Man, that's the big thing
judging.
we didn't tell you about this morning. I'm really excited. Just saw the judges as they went down into the judging booths. They have a big day today. You know, the competitors, we have big days. We've got ups and downs, emotions. The judges have that today as well. The judges are on show and on trial. We're trialing a live system which has been put together by In Time, Claire and Dirk. And so the judges right now, as they are watching the dive live, they're pushing buttons. They're scoring the teams live. We need to wait for confirmation before the next team can come into the tunnel. That's why you've heard the noise drop. That's why you saw the teams get out. They were going on yesterday's flow, and they kind of missed the fact that the live judging is happening.
I think the judging is happening, and I think you might have seen a switch in the camera profile there as well. So we might just be having a few technical stuff that's going on in the judging room. So you can see their singularity, focusing on what they've got coming up. It's really tricky when you have an issue like this. We saw quite a bit of it in the dynamic yesterday, and then obviously in the freestyle that you have with the music, that teams have to sit in the antechamber and just wait for a little while, keep their concentration levels up, which they're doing. Look at that, a little bit of calm from the Singularity team as well, just waiting getting ready for this dive, as we said. It's a relatively fast round, and they'll know that and appreciate that. So this weight
and
won't
they'll be trying to
low.
take advantage for that 1 point difference, because round 9, everybody, this is where the VFS, the singularity battle between singularity and Icaro speed. This is where it happens right now, right here, round 9. If there's a 1 point deficit, that can be made up. Probably not so much on round 10. Now that waiting game as a competitor, we used to get it in the aircraft. Sometimes the aircraft will be forced around. Sometimes there'll be weather holds. We don't have that in the tunnel. We do, however, have this live judging that's going on right now. We need confirmation of a score before the next team can go in. And also, as with anything where you've got this amount of people, electricity, everything going on, you're going to get some technical hitches.
I mean, I had it yesterday in one of our, just before we started our speed rounds or last qualification round that we had in the two-way, and it was, you have everything ready in your head, you're ready to go, and then you're told to wait for five to 6 minutes. And you get that, you completely understand it. But it can mess with your head a little bit. And I'm not a seasoned competitor in two-way dynamic yet. So.
But you are a seasoned competitor.
That's true.
Ray has been competing for a long time. I take my hat off to her for shifting gears a little bit now and going to the two-way dynamic. So Ray, how was your day yesterday?
It was good. Not the best speed round, but a good free routine. Nice, we consolidated it, made it look good for that final round.
Very nice. I heard there were some cheers in the crowd for that.
It was really nice to rub shoulders with the guys that dedicate so much time and effort to this, and they are just so good at what they do, and I love being part of this sport.
All right, the technical issue that we've been suffering from a little bit the last couple of minutes seems to be resolved. We can hear the tunnel firing up, and we've got Hannah, Lindley, Brandon and Rodney from Singularity. That's VFS round 9, and we've got a nice round to look at, guys and girls. We got 17 orientation shift, the E random, all head down, and then a head down very fast block, buddy. Okay, so just a little reminder for everyone, you're watching the team. As soon as their feet leave the floor, the clock starts. They went for a non-gripped start, which is the first round I've seen the team do here. There's the wave. It didn't look correct, actually, unless I... Oh, no, it looked right. Sorry. Yep, I was right.
And you can see on the top right-hand corner of your screens that the live judging is going ahead. As you can see, the points racking up. So these are our judges, not the projected scores that we were seeing yesterday.
These are
live
real
judging.
judges, yeah. And you see you've got the white number. That's the points counting up on the left. The bus will be in the red section on the right. So if a judge sees a bust, they'll fire that in right there, and that will be updated.
Yes.
Looked like Judge 3 saw a bust at the 16th point. None of the others agreed, so maybe they'll have to review it. Now, what's going to happen now is the judges have watched this through at real time. They've made their call. They need to say, I 100% stand by my score, or there's an absolute. There it is. That's a 16. I'm assuming that's the scores.
Exactly.
So really nice. What do you think? 16 for Singularity?
Pretty good. It's pretty good for Singularity.
I mean, that's one of their highest rounds so far, no?
Exactly. I think we might have had a technical issue with the first round with the Windoor team, from the judges' perspective, actually capturing the entrance in the round itself. So we might see the Windoor team might have to have a reflight.
Oh, that would be exciting and interesting for sure, because I think they could pull up some points on that. Not that it's going to change their position on this competition, but it is maybe going to give them a chance to score some more points. We got Cameron calling in from New York, 2:30. Sonic, really good to see you watching. 2:30 a.m. in New York and watching the Win Games live. Really nice to have you on board, guys.
So next in, we have another Italian VFS team, the Alpha Project.
Yep, Alpha Project, really smart looking team. They're pulling up the rear on this, but they're flying consistently. They're flying above average, also going for the no contact start. Obviously they're choosing this as a slightly easier way to get into the first point. It does seem to put them a little further apart from each other for the next part of the sequence, but it does seem to favor the teams for that first build of the 17.
That's right, but they're taking it nice and slow, making sure that each point is built. I think they learnt a few lessons from day one, not to rush things too much to prevent, the grip taking, being too rushed, so there's no corking, and they look very deliberate, even though there is some space in between the formations. Yeah,
that block 17 looks quite delicate, Ray. The other blocks obviously look real close, but everyone needs to play a little bit more with kid gloves on that.
It is, and I think the whole fact that you you have the two transitions, head up, head down, is always going to be quite difficult. So, that's a great round from Alpha Project. That's a 14.
Yeah, 14, and not quite sure if we're seeing the confirmed score. Is that the confirmed score?
And next in, we should have Team Icaro Speed.
Icaro Speed is the team that's locked in a battle with Singularity. Both teams are flying at a very similar pace, but Icaro Speed had some busts yesterday.
Exactly.
So Emanuele, Gabriele, Giovanni and Andrea from Icaro Speed, Italy, doing a lot of training in the tunnel in Milan, aerogravity.
So let's know if they're aware of that 16 points that Singularity scored, that they need to at least get a 17 if the judges' scores that we can see in the top right corner are the confirmed scores. But they might have an idea.
Yeah, normally we wait for the excitement of the scores right at the end, but we're getting that live as we speak now. So we're watching. The team are struggling a little bit with the build of the 11. There's the 17, as we said, slightly more delicate block. Now we're into the head down section of the jump.
Yeah, there's the Fun Buddies. Here we go. That's block 17. And there is the random, the wave.
It's like a bit of a reset, the head down to the wave,
exactly.
yeah? A bit like we do with the star or something in four-way. So, 16 points, that's not going to help him.
No.
No, that's really not going to help these guys. That could be the decider. Let's see. We made a call yesterday on a couple of things. We didn't think there were going to be any placing changes with the slower rounds, but that did happen anyway. So let's see what these teams can do.
Yeah, and interestingly, they had 16 busts to a 15.
Okay, so that's really not going to help Icaro Speed on their battle to try and overtake Singularity. Competition's not done yet. We've still got round 10, Ray.
Yeah, we do. It's round 10 is coming up, but it's great to see this live judging going on as well. The teams will know, the scores are coming up, we can see them, you can see it at home. You can really feel that this competition is building.
Absolutely. That live judging takes us to a completely another level.
It does.
Especially for those teams who are waiting to go. Sometimes your goal as a team is to not look at other teams' score, focus on what you can do. You may not have the choice here. You may be presented with that score in your face unless you've got your eyes closed.
Yes, it's true. So team in now is full speed, and they will go full speed.
Yeah, aptly named team from France, winning the World Championships a couple of years ago. Nice to see these guys back. They're back because they love the sport. They love this VFS event. It's where they can choose to sharpen their skills. Also keeps them relevant in a coaching environment as well.
Very much so. And you can see on the top right corner that green boxes are just ticking up, points are racking up, and they are really going for it. And they're enjoying what they're doing.
Yeah, nice thing to see here is everyone is holding their position in the tunnel. We're seeing very little movement, even despite those orientation changes. Quite a different look at the skydive from these guys. Now, I'm expecting Esercito to have a real crisp, easy to judge round. I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to go like crazy.
Who knows?
Maybe they're going to take some speed. We're about to find out. They can't hear me speak, guys, so they're in their own helmets right now, and they'll be focusing on how they can do this dive as well as possible. Now, 36. We did say it was a fast-scoring round.
Yeah, it was. There's an 8-point gap, right, between full speed and Esercito.
That's tough.
It's going to be tough to beat. 36 points from full speed, but let's see what they've got.
Let's see what they got. Come on, so Andrea, Marco, Stefano. Let's see how you guys go. All right, so the clock is going to start, and there we go. Clock is started, and you'll see watching that screen, you need to see more than a 36. 8 points more than that, Ray. We didn't think that's going to happen,
no.
Especially with the start right now. They are flying fast, though. I think we're seeing a slightly quicker Esercito than we saw yesterday. A little bit wider than full speed, though.
Yeah, they look a little bit reachy, but at the same time, they're holding it together. I think it's a similar place to full speed. I think full speed looked a little bit more compact.
They may equal them, though. They could be close. They've got 3 seconds left. Oh, it's looking good. Let's see if they can just win this round. No.
Oh, equal score.
How amazing is that, ladies and gentlemen? We just saw Esercito equal full speed score. That's a provisional until we get that confirmed large number on the top of the right-hand side of the screen.
It's fantastic to see. They really pulled it out there. Really wanted to get there, get on level, and get some of those points back. Look really pleased with that.
Yeah, that was amazing to watch. I think Esercito, they know they're not going to take first place, but they certainly wanted to stick it to the full speed guys with that round. And they did. They equaled them very close to going over that score, that 36 from full speed.
And as we said, as we watched the flight, they looked a little bit reachy. They looked like they were slightly over the line. Not normally how we've seen them fly, but they can push it that way.
You know, and I was chatting to Mika, the coach, this morning, and he said they have not taken the speed route yet. What they've been working on with Mika, the coach, is precision, knowing all the positions in the skydive, and the speed is going to come later. This isn't their A game. They're going to be training for the World Cup that's coming up.
And I can't wait to see the scores that come out of the World Cup.
Agreed.
Thank you very much, guys. We're back with all the live action of the FS Female in a couple of minutes.